Hello, welcome back to Threefold Talk, the talk show with the token Wetlander. That would be me, Rob, Malkier Talks, and all my beautiful co-hosts. How are we doing? We have Melindhra, Bain&Chiad, and Wise One Shelly. How are we doing, ladies?
Great.
Awesome. Pretty good.
Wonderful. Before we dive into that too much, very quick announcement, folk. You'll notice that on that side, the spoiler banner has changed this week. So whilst we might do spoilers for books at this show, we are not, I repeat, we are not doing any show spoilers. So if you have seen the first two episodes, you've been lucky enough to go to a screening, do not put show spoilers in the live chat. It will actually get you a ban. I don't care how long we've known you on Twitter of Time or around Discord or anywhere, you will receive a ban. I'm the only one who's seen them episodes. My co-hosts have not seen them, and we don't want to spoil anything for anyone or anyone who's just hanging out in chat anyway. So please, no spoilers in chat. As it says, it will get you a ban. I will be paying attention. And folks, if you see it, just tag me so that I can be like that. I'm sorry, you were warned. So there we go. So ladies, how are we doing? Like, how's your weekend been? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, well, a week and a half. So what's new?
I feel like nothing is as new.
Or with you.
Yeah, I did laundry this weekend.
I didn't do any laundry this weekend. I did laundry when I got back, but yeah. So is that my hint to just launch us straight into Fear the Spear?
Yeah, we have some issues with you. So I think we need to work that out before we can talk.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think, we haven't had a good chance to get to know the Wetlander as much as we've gotten to know each other. So I think it's time for some questions, Rob.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
Well, folks, we're skipping the Daily Veil this week. And thank you for joining us on the Tuesday, by the way. I understand that we had some technical debacles last week. I took a week off for personal reasons. Everything was a bit much, and the ladies ran it without me. And they valiantly pushed through a whole just minefield of technical issues. And we'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. But yeah, thank you for joining us on the Tuesday, folks. We'll be here on the Tuesday nights for the next 6 weeks, which is good because we don't have to worry about, clashing with Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve or anything of that nature. So
pre-Friday drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we're going to have a fun set of Tuesdays here. So thank you for joining us, folks. We'll be here for the rest of the year on Tuesday nights. Not sure what we're doing over the holidays. We'll figure that out later. But yeah, let's do some Fear the Spear. And it's my turn. I'm in fear of the spear right now. I have to say, I'm nervous.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So Bain&Chiad is running this. So over to you.
Yes. So if you have not watched Fear the Spear before, this is where we put someone to the question, usually a Wetlander, but not always. We had some great Aiel visitors in the past. We had Gall and we had Michaela, who's Real Deal Aiel on Twitter. But today we're going to put the Wetlander to test here on the show. And my first question for you is that you recently attended the London world premiere of The Wheel of Time, and you did not bring an honor guard of Far Darius Mai. So how will you meet your toe?
Oh, I mean, I did take an usher woman with me. I know that's not Far Darius Mai, but I did not go alone, at least. How will I meet my toe? Oh, this is a tough question.
Well, maybe chat will have some ideas while you think about it.
Yeah, chat, help me out here. Yes, Silvertooth, so much toe. Oh gosh, I don't know. Maybe I could pick a Wetlander manual. Yeah, I'm at a loss of what I could possibly do here. Chat, help me out, please. Oh, can I come back to that question? That's a hard question.
Ugh, this is not starting off well.
No,
I thought
that was an easy one.
I don't know.
We have ways to help you meet your toe.
So many ways.
So many ways.
Glenn's asking in chat, why would I have an escort of Fardaris Mai? I'm not the Karakan.
Well, no,
But the maidens hold your honor.
right. I mean, you have this show. We allowed you to have this show with us.
That is true. Okay, Silvertooth
So.
has made a point in chat that I could do something at JordanCon. So I will not go anywhere at JordanCon without an escort of Fardaris Mai.
Wow.
I make a pledge of that.
Wow. Okay. We're gonna hold you to that.
Except at the end of the night when I go to bed, like I might, not take Fardaris Mai with me when I go to bed.
Or you
Probably
might.
don't. That'd probably be a big mistake.
I don't understand why you wouldn't have a maiden or two in your tent, Rob. That feels like a thing
I don't want
that
to
would be required.
Yeah, so that part can be Next question.
This is going so well. I love it.
No.
This is why I'm the host, so I don't have
And
to
then
do
Rob
stuff.
will never shower during JordanCon.
Showers are for Wetlanders.
Oh, that's true. We'll set up a sweat tent just for him.
Yes.
I do understand, though, based on the experience last week, it is a lot easier to be the host and to be the one asking the questions than the one answering them, for sure. So I understand. So I'm going to turn it over to Wise One Shelly for our next question. Go ahead, Shelly.
Okay. My question is, how did you earn G during your time in London?
I feel like I did it in two ways, earning G. So firstly, I love London's an amazing city. And I'm lucky enough to be in a privileged position of being able to walk the London streets and not fear for my life, which is an extraordinary position to be in as a white man. So I walked for a couple of hours after I'd hung out with a lot of like neighbors and people like that, listening to the Wheel of Time album by Lorne, and just walking through all the London lights and that. And that was a very spiritual experience, listening to that music and just all the lights and the empty streets and that. And that was very beautiful. But also I took a very good friend with me to the world premiere, someone who has supported my channel in an enormous amount of ways and all my content, and does a lot to support me. So I took my best friend Kayla, who is my roommate as well. I took her along to the world premiere, and she played it very cool and calm until we were upstairs in kind of like the waiting room before we actually went in, having our free Prosecco and things of that nature. And then she suddenly turned to me and was like, "Thank you so much for taking me to this. This is incredible." And this is after we've passed Daniel Henney on the blue carpet, sorry. Yeah, I feel like I earned G by taking her along, as not because I did want to take her along, but also as a thank you for all of the support that she gives me, and because what I do would not be possible without her.
So
That's
Kayla,
a very good answer.
Kayla has much G, so much G.
I think the fact that you honored her and showed her your gratitude by taking her with you, you just met a tiny little bit of your toe. Kind of
Okay.
Brought you a little bit back up.
Nice.
Melindhra, you want to take the next question?
Yes. I have a general question for you. Why did you choose to be a Wetlander?
Actually why I picked my name, why I'm Malkier, I suppose is what you're asking. Is that the question?
You can interpret it however you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, I can't help how I was born, but I chose. So, I chose to be Malkier because I love Lan. He's not my favorite character, but he's the character I respect the most in the story. And I wanted to be like that if I could, and so that's why I chose to be a Wetlander and not an Aiel.
Okay.
And our line has G.
And yeah, there we go. So that was
True.
my thought process there as well.
Anyone connected to him, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question. Out of everyone that you met in London, who would you take to guard your back during a raid, assuming we would allow you to come on a raid with us?
Fair question. That is a tough question as well. I think I would take Critter. I think Critter would there's Nablus is a big guy. He's like 6'4" or 5" or something like that. He's a tall bloke. But I think that Critter's going to have my back a lot better. I feel like there's a Critter's got the moves. I think she can handle herself in a fight, and she's an awesome woman as well. So yeah, I would pick Critter of all the people I met. I didn't actually meet Daniel Henney, so otherwise I would obviously have picked Daniel Henney. So but just because I walked past him, I don't feel that's good enough. That's not meeting. So yeah, Critter. That's my choice.
Is she a Gween Elvera?
She is our Gween Elvera on Twitter. Yes. So,
a Gween should have been a wise one.
Absolutely.
This is true.
I agree.
And Critter herself, I feel, could be honorary Fardari Smai for sure. So I approve of that answer. Shelly, you want to take the next one?
Yes.
This is very nerve-wracking. I have no idea what you're asking me.
Did you have any notable meals or usquai on your trip?
Notable meals or usquai. I watched Americans enjoy British fish and chips for the first time. That was very notable for them. Although Critter in particular was like, I'm just being really basic and having fish and chips. I was like, no, it's your first time in London. Have fish and chips. It's a thing. So I definitely recommended that or said that she'd picked the right thing when I saw that. There was lots of free Prosecco at the screening. So Kayla and I may have gone up 4 or 5 times to get another glass. And we did have a bottle of Prosecco prior to going to the actual event itself anyway. So, the night was fueled by a fair amount of Prosecco, which was fun. It was, it settled the nerves. I was a little nervous. So
I do believe that One Shelly has postulated that Prosecco is not an Aiel worthy drink. And you have to have full usquai and not some watered down bubbly Prosecco crap.
In that case, no, I did not have anything. What did I have? So Sunday night, I just had a pie. I went for ramen.
Did you just say you had a pie?
Yes, I had a pie on Sunday night, but it was
pie and ramen. How did we not?
But he also had ramen.
Why didn't you start with that?
Well,
the
pie was simple, but the ramen restaurant. So I met a friend, Carolina, for lunch just outside of Leicester Square, where she was working, and she's been on the podcast. We've chatted. She's been on Watchnary, but I've never actually met her in real life. And so we went for lunch, and she recommended the ramen restaurant, and it was amazing and really cheap as well. It did not break the bank at all. So yeah, it was pretty incredible ramen. And we just sat there for an hour, and she works in the film industry, so we talked about the filming and producing and just the show and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, that was probably the best food I had all weekend was the ramen, and I don't know why it took me so long to remember that.
I just love that you had pie for a meal. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a steak pie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like envisioning an apple pie.
Yeah. Oh, no, like a steak pie. There was mashed potatoes and stuff with it as well. Okay. So yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
I believe Melindhra has the next question. Yes.
Yes. This question is definitely from me.
Okay.
Did you see any Trollics? And are they as hot in person as they are on screen?
I did not see any Trollics. The security at the event was beyond the Dark One's capabilities, I felt. So, yeah, the Dark One, there was no Trollics slipping in there. So it was, sadly, I did not see any in person. I saw many Trollics.
That sounds boring.
Yeah, it was. There wasn't any. I saw Trollics. People had at other screenings, but there was no Trollics in person at the premiere event, sadly. So I saw an Ogier.
What?
I saw an Ogier. In casual clothing, I might call it. No pockets full of books. But I did not see any Trollics.
Okay, fair enough. All right, next
I love-
question.
can I just call out Eben in chat? Nablus is a Trollic. He's just put in there. I did see Nablus there. So yeah, Nablus was at the event.
Yes. And no, that was not Melindhra's veil. That was part of her shufa that she was hiding behind. That's like a flirting technique. That's how you flirt with the Trollics.
Yes, they understand the language of the shufa.
They do.
The language is the
Yes.
Shufa.
All right. So next question. Out of everyone you met while you were there, who was the wisest wise one?
Okay, does this include people that I didn't actually meet in person, but, you know, so
Yes.
for example, were interviewed?
Sure.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like it's a little cliche to say, but Rosamund Pike, by far, just, yeah, the answers to the questions she was being asked were amazing. She was doing that even at the end when they did a Q&A thing and she was being asked a question. She still managed to ask the person asking questions, managed to ask them and us a question in the audience. And it was very smooth and stylish. And I felt like she could do, you know, no wrong. And it was very, very much giving off wise one vibes. In terms of people I actually met and interacted with, I don't know, Juliet Howland literally sat 2 seats away from me. And I feel like, I don't know if she fits into the wise one category, but definitely one of the nicest people I've ever met. So yeah, those two, definitely Rosamund for the wise one aspect. And then, you know, the nicest person I met, just throw that in as well, was Juliet. So
Yeah, Juliet seems really awesome. And I love her hens and everything she does for like animal rights. She's a lovely, lovely person. Shelly, I want to ask, what do you think of Rob's answer as far as Rosamund being a wise one?
You know, I don't know. I've been trying to avoid too much show stuff, so I'm gonna have to make a judgment of Rosamund once I see her on screen.
There is you've heard that there is male nudity in the show, and that doesn't give any spoilers. You've heard this, wise one, Shelly?
I've heard this.
Yes. Let's just say Rosamund made a comment that I don't believe was actually, you know, she seriously did this, but the comment was a very wise decision to take. She was in a situation where she had the best angle in the house, shall we say? And she said that, of course, she filmed it from her direction as well, but we don't get to see that. I felt that was a very wise thing to do. So wise in a different way to traditional wise wanting, but yeah.
Well, I have seen a lot of Rosamund's interviews, and I do agree based on personality. I just don't understand why she was wearing Gaishane white at the premiere. It does not make any sense. She should have been dressed like a wise one.
She was on her way to a snowy mountain and
Possible.
trying
That's
to
true.
blend in there.
I mean, it was an incredible, you know, outfit, but I don't know about the white. Okay.
It wasn't that white in person, I have to say. It had
really?
Yeah, it wasn't pure white in person. It had there was like a almost a gold look to it or something. It was very it didn't come across in the photos. When you looked in person, it wasn't pure white. There was some kind of I'm terrible, I'm shade blind, so I'm really, really bad with colors. But there was definitely a tinge of color to the outfit. It wasn't pure white.
Is that why you always
it was almost pure white? Why I wear black?
Black or very, very, very dark gray? Is that why you always wear?
I'll share an embarrassing thing. When I was younger, I genuinely was like asking my mother for where my black jumper was, and she said, "You don't own a black jumper?" I was like, "I do. I wear it all the time." And unbeknownst to me, I'd be wearing a navy blue jumper with my black trousers on multiple occasions, and I could not tell the difference at all. So
I feel like that's kind of a common mistake. Sometimes navy blue almost looks black, and some shades of black are kind of have a blue tinge. So
I'm curious how that plays out in a kitchen.
we just have very different colors for everything. So if you need different colored chopping boards and knives and things. So we don't have a navy blue and a black knife, I suppose you're about to,
nothing that close.
Yeah, nothing that close tends to happen. And it's usually about, is it cooked properly more than what color are the two dishes or something? The food I do doesn't encounter that situation, but I suppose it could eventually if I went into something fine dining style.
All right, Shelly, I think you're next. We should have swapped questions.
That's okay. I didn't want to put him on the hot seat.
True.
But this is a question I'm excited about. Who had the best red carpet cadensaur?
Oh, wow.
And the correct answer is Daniel Henney.
Daniel Henney looked amazing. I mean, no one looked bad last night.
They're all gorgeous.
Can we review each one?
Yes. Yeah, I can bring that up. That is something, I can't believe I just said that, by the way. Like last night. That's yeah. Okay, so here's everybody. I'm gonna hide for a little bit because I'm getting a bit, this is the four of them plus Rosamund and Daniel or Laniel, sorry. And yeah. So first up there is Rosamund. Now, maybe it's the belt, but yeah, there's a tinge there that it's not coming across on the cameras. And it's gorgeous. But looking at them all, I don't know. This dress was so green. It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Striking.
Yeah. Just keep that one up.
Just keep that one up. Yeah. I know Marcus was also wearing something very high collared under his jacket as well.
It was the night of turtlenecks, wasn't it?
It was a night of turtlenecks. And Maddie here, like the gloves were amazing. She had a little ring on each finger as well, like a bit of sparkle.
I like to believe the Amerlin is always prepared to go to the opera.
Mm-hmm. So, and Yoshi was wearing just a white shirt under his jacket. Rafe was brilliant. Here's more turtleneck. So I think Marcus scrubs up probably better than anyone else in terms of out of the guys. It's like none of them scrubbed up badly, but Marcus, he's a blacksmith in the show, and I feel like he just really scrubbed up. And I love Rafe. He's there and he's just like, I'm gonna wear my sneakers.
Love it.
They don't blend in, but they're practical for running.
Yes,
so.
Indeed.
Yes, much tea.
Just going on that factor alone, I might have to pick Rafe. He was the only one prepared to go running and raiding. I don't know. How does everyone feel about that?
I mean, his was the most practical outfit, though I'm seeing in the chat that apparently Zoe's outfit had pockets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I did notice this while she was posing. So whilst we were, not to go into anything too depthly, because we'll cover that in a second, but we could see Prime were filming things outside and then displaying it on the screen inside, because we had to sit a lot earlier than everybody else. And we were watching some of this, and while she was having a picture taken, she was putting her hands in her pockets. And I actually turned to Kayla. I was like, either she's got really small pockets, or she's deliberately leaving her thumb out of them to prove, hey, my dress has pockets. And either way, I was impressed. I was like, if they're small pockets, that's a shame because they need to be bigger. But I'm glad that it had pockets at least. So, and it was bright green and really popped. It looked amazing. I mean, yeah.
Good for her.
In
terms of practicality, I'm going to go with Wraith. In terms, I might have to go with that green dress and pockets for Zoe. I might, yeah. That's who I have to pick.
Yeah, she's got my vote too. As soon as I saw her.
But Daniel, really. Daniel, obviously, of course.
We need to keep talking about Laniel so I can get lots of GIFs of Shelly freaking out over Laniel.
Yes.
All right, Mel, it's your turn.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. All right. My question is, what Tam jokes did you tell? And which ones bombed?
I had no opportunity to tell Tam jokes.
Ugh.
But I did have them prepared. And that is the one. Michael wasn't there for a start, which I was, I understood, but I was also really upset about, because it's like, that's the person I really want to tell a Tam joke to, is Tam. but I couldn't. And then what I suppose if I'd actually met them, I probably would have been too stunned to think of a joke. But I had a few queued up, like one for Laniel, one for Yosha. I was tempted to do the Perrin one for Marcus if I got the opportunity, but it's very specific towards Daniel Green and his hoof fetish, so I'm not sure if he would have got it. I would have had to explain that first, and that kind of ruins the joke a bit.
Okay, pause 1 minute. You're explaining your jokes before you have told them.
Yeah, exactly.
So can we rewind and start again?
Well, it was only that one because
We'll tell the joke.
Oh, okay,
Tell
right. Tell
the
the joke.
joke.
Okay, right. Okay.
I don't understand Wetlander humor.
Right. So the one I would have told Tam is oh God, how's it run again? Put me on the spot. See, I would have been worse last night if I'd got the opportunity. So Rand comes in one night after collecting all the sheep in and turns to Tam and says, "I've got all 100 sheep in, Dad." And Tam turns around and says, "We only have 86. And Rand's like, "I know, I rounded them up."
I don't get it.
I'm just nodding because maybe he'll tell more jokes that make sense.
Yeah.
It was the sheep, right? That's the funny part, is the sheep.
Are the sheep
Yeah.
drinking water?
I don't know.
Pretty
but
sure it's something about his dad and counting.
So where does
think.
Rand go to get his hair cut? At the barber shop.
Why don't
I have no poker face.
Just do it.
Okay, so that's the one I would have told Yosha, especially because he has such short hair. I thought that would be particularly appropriate to use. And then the one I would have told Marcus is Perrin's at his forge, and he calls out, "I'll be done the second. I've almost finished this sword. I just need to work out the kinks." And then the sword turns around and says, "I like hooves." And Perrin's like, "Shut up." But yeah.
I don't get that.
Is it funny because it's a sword and no one should use them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You
that's
all
wrong with
need to
that.
spend more time in tents with Wetlanders. The funny part is the hoof prints on your,
Okay.
you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
I don't know why.
It's about Trollics, I see.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a joke about Trollics. Yes, there we go.
I don't know why
So-
we put that on the list because I really don't understand any of these jokes, but oh well. I think
I'm
it's
sure
back to
you're
me.
very funny in the Wetlands, Rob.
True.
They do reasonably well. Yes. Yeah.
People
seem
in
to
chat
like
are
it.
laughing, so I
Yeah.
guess that counts for something. All right, so it's back to me. So we're no spoilers tonight, obviously, but if you could sum up your reaction to the episodes that you saw in one word, what would it be?
One word. Okay.
One word.
Oh, this is words are important. So I to quote Rosamund. So I'm trying to be careful what I say here because breathtaking, I think, is the only word I could use. Yeah.
Okay.
That's an appropriate word for how I felt and at moments how I reacted. So yeah.
Okay. So I'll have to do a lot of exercises before Thursday night or Friday, so I have good lung capacity.
I think Wetlanders
Yeah.
just don't breathe as well as us.
Oh,
This is true. Yes.
okay.
Yeah. You can run a lot further and longer and faster than Wetlanders can. So you'll probably be fine.
Okay. All right, Shelly, you're up.
All right. Will you still watch the episodes when they come out on Amazon?
Yes. Easily. Yes, absolutely. I am. They'll probably drop at about 1 a.m. here or midnight or something. I am staying up and watching them. And then I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to get up and cook I'm calling it a 3-course meal, but one of the courses is alcohol. It's Tam Jokes. So I'm still calling it 3 courses. I'm going to prepare that, then pick up my brother and his girlfriend, who, for a combination of errors, is staying with me this weekend. And that evening, we are going to sit and enjoy a selection of Wheel of Time food and drink, and then watch all 3 episodes again. Well, again for me, not for everyone else.
So is alcohol not normally a course in the wetlands?
It's an accompaniment rather than a course. I like to think of it as a course. So you have food and then the drink, as opposed to drink being part of the, well, at least that's how I dealt with it, I suppose. Yeah, I think of it as a course, but most people just think of it as not. So they do things like weird frozen things as a course, call it sorbets and stuff. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Out in the desert.
There's not many frozen foods in the waste.
I didn't think so.
The threefold land.
We'll have to introduce you to ice cream when you come to the wetlands.
I'm not sure I'll like it.
Well, if anyone's wondering, Melindhra and I just dropped in chat all of the different ways you can use usquai. So if you're wondering about that, it's all in chat.
Oh, yes, I see that.
We have suggestions to prepare you.
Oh, yes. Yeah, don't forget, folks, we do have an announcement before the end of the show, which it's a big announcement. I'm really excited about it. And, there'll be an announcement with it from us because we're involved with it too. So, but yeah, I like the choices: the appetizer, entrees, dessert, after dinner mint. Yeah, half man Dan is getting in there. So it's good choices.
Get at it, Dan.
I use it as a pre-workout.
Nice. I like it.
So the announcement is only assuming that you survive this last question, which will come to you from Melindhra.
Okay.
Your final question, should you choose to embark upon it, is, in the books, who is your favorite Aiel?
Oh.
Choose wisely.
Yes, please tell us.
I would say I plead the 5th, but that doesn't work with you.
No, you plead.
You have to give us at least 20%.
There's no such thing as the 5th
answer.
in the threefold land. Not like that, anyways.
I feel there's. I want to give the honest answer. I'm still not sure I'm going to survive. Ruach is my favorite Aiel.
That's very boring.
I'll accept that.
I don't know. I just, he gets a raw deal. He's my favorite.
He does.
He's if I could be an Aiel, I would be Rock.
He has much G for sure.
He has much G.
Yeah.
I can't pick Bain or Chiad without upsetting the other one. So
true.
And
only come as a group.
I don't think I could, face down Matt for Melindhra. So, I don't think I could beat Matt. Like I don't feel like a top Matt anyway. So,
You could bottom him.
I didn't see that one coming. Sorry.
Neither did he.
Yes, nice one. Nice one.
Where's my ramen rattle?
Yes, Ramen Rattle for that one.
Ramen.
Yes.
Well, congratulations, Wetlander. You have survived Fear the Spear. Thank you for being a good sport. I don't think we even drew one drop of blood. So that means you did a good job.
I definitely
Way
felt
to go, Rob.
I did feel like I was bleeding at certain moments. I was like, now I know how I guess feel when they come on and we ask these questions. I always think they're easy to answer. They're absolutely not.
They're definitely not. No, yeah.
And they're dying in chat. I'm now hashtag Malkier's bottom. That sounds like it.
Butt rock.
Butt rock. Where's butt rock?
Rock.
Oh, I don't have butt rock. 1 second.
Always keep butt rock queued up.
Yes, always have butt rock queued up.
You
never know when it's going to be handy.
So much toe for not having butt rock handy.
Oh my god. That
You
is
need like
not a sentence I thought anyone would ever say to me.
You need like a miniature version of it that you can actually like hold in your hand. So you can actually have butt rock in your hand.
Nice. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So all right, one second.
I feel like I could make that happen.
Yeah, I think you could too. I have faith in you.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Butt rock, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
There it is. Cool.
It's
All
the
right.
most sacred place in the waist. We shouldn't laugh at it.
No, this is true.
Yeah,
this is the most
sorry.
sacred place in the West. That's
Yes.
a very good point. So, but yeah,
Butt
that's
rock 1, Ruidian 2.
yeah,
Mm.
Yeah.
this is true.
As I said, it's where we send the blacksmiths.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, were there any other questions? We're going to talk a little bit about blue the carpet. Words, Rob. Wanted to talk a little bit about the blue carpet. Do you have any other questions? I'm not going to give spoilers, obviously, but
I think we're out of questions, but if there's anything else you'd like to add, the floor is yours. The carpet is yours.
the carpet is mine. Thank you.
Mhm.
The rugs, because I didn't know Aiel did carpet, so I presumed I was standing on rugs. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. I did not expect to be walking the blue carpet itself. The invitation led me to believe that there would be a separate entrance for us. So that was really nice. And I was walking down the carpet with Kaylee, and we was looking at the big banner. And then I looked over because I was like, oh, there's the people doing interviews, as in the interviewers. And I thought, where's Nameless, Critter? Where's Daniel? Where's the innkeeper? Where's Taylor? Because I hadn't met Taylor yet either. And that was when I noticed that I had literally just walked past Daniel Henney and was currently walking past Yosha. And I was like, I could literally like take a step to the left, reach out and touch them on the shoulder type thing. I was that close.
Yes, shoulder.
Yes. Yeah. Don't
we have...
You should have done the classic maiden flirting technique of oops, I dropped my spear. And they could help you.
Or I don't understand, if you touch them on the shoulder, does that mean you take them gaishai?
That was my
is
thinking.
That the
yes.
idea?
Yeah, they were
Okay.
they were in mid battle with journalists, and I was going to sneak up behind them and just be so but yeah.
Don't we have something about Zoe?
Speaking of sneaking up behind, yes, don't we have
we do, yes.
Yes.
So we're pretty sure that Zoe has taken Daniel Henney Gaishine, because this happened where she snuck up and almost choked him. Like, he took it well, I feel, didn't he?
Yes. So this is also a classic maiden flirtation technique, where actually in our version, we strangle the target. She's going pretty easy on him there. And then if the target can take you and put you in a headlock, then you'll take them to bed. But if not, then they just pass out for a bit.
There we go. I love the smile that she gives after this. Like, come and get me if you can.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. I love the way he looks at her too. They've got people going crazy online and shipping them.
Mm-hmm. As they should be. So that was a lot of fun. And then we got inside, went up to like the waiting room, and there was prosecco and things, and there was loads of people there, people I didn't recognize, people I did recognize. And then we got into the screen, and as I say, we could see what was happening outside on the big screen. Did their little introduction when it started up. All the celebs got bustled in at the back door at the corner, but we could see them all. And then Juliet Howland came and basically sat next to me. She was 2 seats away. I'd seen her talking to Lorne, the composer, and she'd said, come say hi if I don't see you first, and come say hi, which was really nice of her to say prior to the event. And then she was just, walking along trying to find her seat. And then she was at the end of the row and said, oh, sorry, I'm just down there. And we all stood up, and I just stood there and I was like, hi, Juliet. And she literally was like, Rob, oh my God, and so nice to see her, and said probably the most incredible thing I could have had anyone say to me. And I couldn't comprehend it at the time. And thank God someone else asked her a question when she said it, or just after she said it, because I was literally stunned. She turned around and said that she listens, she watches my stuff all the time, and she thinks it's amazing, and she absolutely loves it. And then she thanked me for bringing hen news to her attention as well, from the Talk Around Riyadh podcast. And my brain froze, and I just turned to Kayla and I was like, did you, I know people, I know they listen, they watch things, they watch Dusty Wheel and stuff. I know that the cast and crew do that thing, but you know, for her to turn around and be like, I watch all you do, and you know, I love it. It's amazing. It's incredible what you put together, and you know, and things like that. I was like, did she just like say that she's a fan? Yeah, I lost my mind a little bit. And thank God someone next to me asked her a question about something, and then she was distracted, because I don't think I could have formulated a response to that. So that was.
We should bring her on to Fear the Spear.
We should. I want to say, like, she must have very good taste. That's all I'm saying. Because anyone who watches Malkier Talks and understands the stellar quality of Malkier Talks content is a wise one in my book, for sure.
Agreed.
It's she's an amazing person. She was so lovely. We chatted afterwards as well, as the security were ushering us out slowly, and then just hanging out with everybody, like meeting Taylor and that. It was a lot of fun, and the Q&A was really interesting as well. This is a fun piece, actually. It's zero spoilers, but they were introducing people. There was like 9 chairs and a little semicircle thing, and they introduced like the writer, then a couple of producers, and then Rafe, and they were going through the cast as it worked its way around. And they'd obviously been lined up prior to walking up the stage, up the stairs, in the order they were being introduced. And they did the writer, the 2 producers, Rafe, and then Marcus went to walk on, and the person from Amazon announcing them said Zoe's name instead. So he was just like, oh, okay, you know, like turn around, and you know, up comes Zoe, and then he assumes that, okay, I'm after that type thing. And for about 4 names in a row, everybody else just got announced, and he was coming up every time like, oh, okay, not me. Oh, no, okay. It was absolutely hilarious, because he honestly kept expecting to be next, because he just thought, well, they've got me slightly wrong. And then once they got down to, I think she was just about to announce Daniel Henney, and then she went, oh, I have actually skipped Marcus. You were earlier, sorry. So Marcus Rutherford. And then he came out, and everyone just cheered and died with laughter, and they all messed around their seats to get him in the right order again. So it was that was a very hilarious moment. He handled it so well. He was having fun with it. He was laughing at the situation and just being like, oh, no, okay, not me, you know, and stuff like that. So that was very, very fun. And then afterwards, I, in all seriousness, tried to sneak onto the party bus, because there was an after party over at the Tower of London. I found out that later. I knew there was an after party, didn't know where. And I went off with the innkeeper. A few of us did, with the innkeeper and Nameless and that, and got literally this close to being put on the bus, because they had space, and the person with the checklist was like, so there's some people that haven't gone, they've gone home instead, so I've got space in the bus, like who else here is in? And the 3 people stood there that was part of the crew, that the woman was talking to, was like, oh, everyone here is crew, so you know. And she's like, okay, let's see how many I can fit on. And I was just like, she waved to all of us, but that was when the rest of the group of Twitter timers was like leaving, and I was like, Kayla's going with them, and I could stay and get on the bus if I really just be like, stood there quietly, be like, yeah, I'm part of the crew. But then Kayla wouldn't, and I would have left her, and that would have earned me much tow, so I walked off. And that was also then when one of the 3 people that were being asked was just like, oh, no, it's just these people here, I don't think they are. And I was like, I can come on the bus if you want. And they laughed. But yeah, so I came very close to getting there, but I feel like I would have turned up the event, and then there would have been a security guard with the checkboard being like, I don't recognize your name, leave please. But yeah, that was, without giving any spoilers for the show itself, it was a really, really good experience. Madeline also walked past me afterwards. She came out into the lobby area, as opposed to going, I don't know, backstage or wherever else they were going, and just sort of wandered around, just chatting to a few people. And I was like, oh, okay. And then like Marcus appeared and Yosha appeared again, but then they got rushed downstairs fairly quickly. So I didn't get a chance to. They were always getting a little mobbed anyway. So I was like, I just don't want to add on to that, because that's not cool. But it was an incredible evening and a lot of fun. And yeah, it was so nice just to meet everybody, you know, Matt Hatch, Taylor, Nablus, Critter, Jason Denzel, you know, all those sorts of people. It was a lot of fun. So there's the evening in a nutshell. And if you want full spoilers, Kato and I recorded the podcast episode prior to the show, which comes out on Friday. So you can listen to that after you've watched the episodes, and you can just hear us banter back and forth about what we watched. So
well done. You represented the fandom well. Yeah.
I wore my Malkier. I don't have it on now, it's in the wash, but I wore my Malkier Talks t-shirt underneath the jacket. So
nice.
Yeah, I saw that in your picture. Your jacket was stellar.
Yeah.
Stellar. In the ranks of Caden Sword, like that would be like way up there with the Shido Caden Sword, like super high. Really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's
yeah.
That's very kind. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So who wants to talk about a meeting our toe we need to do for this week, or we're starting this week? I feel like we should probably talk a little bit about that. So last week, folks, I took a week off. I had a lot on the plate, work-wise, going to London, organizing stuff like that. And I said to my co-host, I was like, can we skip this week? I'm overwhelmed. I'm not sure I can handle it. And then Bain&Chiad still, you know, said, I'll run it, you know, can we do that? And I set it up. Technically, I didn't do it properly, so that is my fault. But the ladies powered through, and we had how did someone describe it earlier? Like a Discord talk around or something like that. I can't remember how it was worded. But yeah, you had some adventures last week, I hear.
Yeah, it was quite a time, but I said this last week, but everybody in chat that joined us in Discord were just awesome, really like understanding and really supportive and stuck with us. And we had a pretty good crowd in Discord. So thank you to everybody that was there. But I know not everybody could make it over to Discord. So Mel had a really good idea. I guess that we have to meet our toe.
Yeah, I mean, we acknowledge that our skills are more in the blade and blood variety, and the Wetlander skills are in more like communication variety. And we obviously did not do our job in making sure that we learned everything we needed to learn from the Wetlander before we took over his channel to be able to run this show. So our idea is that we needed to meet our toe for failing to provide, a fully accessible experience for everyone who joins us every week, which we're really grateful for. So we asked in Malkier Talks Discord, as well as on Twitter, for people to send us instruction guides from Wetlanders to be able to understand the things that are important to Wetlanders and the kind of instructions that Wetlanders follow in order to be able to do things like do live streams and other Wetlander important things. So we got a lot of really great submissions from a variety of people, and some of them were 3,200 page manuals, and we haven't yet to necessarily be able to meet the extent of that toe, but we are going to take steps towards meeting our toe tonight by going through some of the things that we have learned from the interesting Wetlander manuals that have been submitted to us.
Love it.
And before we do that, we should thank Dana Luzul.
Yes, thank you, Dana.
I guess running tech support and trying to get as many people in where they could be as possible, and renaming the channels and just kind of doing some air traffic control. So much G, I think she deserves a ramen rattle.
Most definitely.
Dana Luzul.
Yes. She's Dana has been Dana was the first person who ever really spoke to me on Discord, and has supported me since day one, and is always been there in the background, helped me out. She mods in my live streams along with a host of other people. I appreciate all the mods. She's helped me mod the server, the Discord server, before I even had mods. She's been there as a backup for me, willing to give me that support, and she is always so thoughtful and helpful to everybody. So I really appreciate her support of my co-host last week, because you're amazing, Zul. We love you. So yeah, another Ramen
We
Rattle.
love you. Thank you, Dana.
So yeah. So who's going first? I do not have a manual, but I will get a manual at some point. There was some suggested. I think I can pick one up as well because I wasn't there, so I have two for that. But is anybody going to go first with their manuals? Wise One Shelly?
I can go.
Yeah.
So
I saw you there. You wanted to go. I could see it in your eyes. I'm like, Shelly wants to go.
Well, I think mine is probably the least toe because I just stopped in and had a lot to drink. So I just kind of popped in halfway through to say hi and then popped off before I said anything too silly. But we share our toe here. So I watched a video called How to Be Invisible by Kate Bush, which I believe is an instruction manual about how to become invisible. And my understanding from it is you mix a bunch of ingredients, including hair of doormat, which sounds very unsanitary, hem of anorak, stem of wallflower, and go down a bunch of long quarters, which sounds a bit like Reudian, and cut yourself in half and fold along the dotted line. So I've done almost all those things. I've been drinking it all night. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have stem of wallflower, so I used soy milk. And I didn't have hem of anorak, so I used hot chocolate. And I didn't have hair of doormat, so I used peppermint schnapps. So I've made a couple substitutions, and you guys can tell me if it's working. I don't think it is, but I figured give it a shot and bottoms up. But that's me trying to meet my toe. And if I turn invisible tonight, you guys all know I made it work. But thank you, Eben Hopwell, for trying to teach me that. I think it's a cool Wetlander trick if I could get it to work.
Well, I don't know. I think that we can make it. You take a drink, see if you disappear. I think you disappeared. I don't know. What do you reckon? Has she disappeared?
She has.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Come back, Shelly. Are you going to come back, please? Nope. There we go. You've come back. No, she's disappeared completely.
She's gone forever. Wow.
Nice.
That was very impressive. You learned a lot from that
you did
Wetlander
really well.
manual.
I did.
Yeah. I feel like
Very
you
impressed.
had the least amount of toe, and I feel like you definitely met it and beyond just now, for sure.
And I have to say, this disappearing potion is quite tasty if anyone ever wants to try it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll get the recipe out there. So
Yeah, we'll make sure we'll post the recipe for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eben, for that. Appreciate that.
Send that to my wise one over here in Shadowlands.
I'll tell her in the dream.
Right. Okay.
Nice. Okay, Melindhra, would you like to go next with what you have learned from the Wetlander manuals?
Yes. The Wetlander manual that I was instructed to review was provided by Christine Molini on Discord, and she provided a manual to a Wetlander horseless wagon called a Honda Passport. So a Honda Passport. And it was quite a lot of reading. So I decided to opt for the pages that seemed most important. And there was a page about maintenance. And they mentioned that there was an area of the wetlands called California. And California apparently has very strict rules about how horseless wagons are supposed to be used. And they're very strict about the farts that horseless wagons are allowed to emit out into the air. So they, there's a fair amount of rules, but what I learned from this manual about horseless wagons called the Honda Passport is that there are a fair amount of alarms, which are tricky in that, if you're trying to, move silently through a field of long grasses, all of the alarms on this Honda Passport would probably alert your enemies to whether they were there or not. But it also seems to be very important to Wetlanders because they have a specific section of their alarms called the minder. And so it basically tells you whether your wagon is going to break down or not. And so they want you to know all of the different fluids that are included in this horseless wagon. And there's a whole lot of them, which is very tricky, especially if you're going to take this horseless wagon into the threefold land where there's very little fluid, but there's tons of different kinds of fluids, and there's a huge graph about fluids. But it seems to be very important that you maintain the level of your brake fluid and your radiator fluid and your washer fluid, which seems weird if you have a sweat tent, and your engine coolant, which seems completely impossible. And then there's another fluid called the engine oil, which I was like, oil, okay, I know about that. Like if you go to Mayenne and you travel to the oil fish shoals and you gather the oil from that, perhaps you could put this in this horseless wagon and be able to lubricate all of the parts of the wagon to make it work. But then I thought maybe perhaps you might need a more intense kind of oil. So if you, actually went to the Stone of Tyr and took the fifth of Lord Wyramond's beard, then you could gather enough oil from his beard to lubricate like the entire horseless wagon, and then it would operate in such a way that it would be completely silent and you could go through a field of grasses and no one might see you.
You learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I
learned
this
from
this was on pages 565 through pages 571 of this manual about the Honda Passport, not accepting the California section where they talk about farts.
So all these fluids and no water?
It was unclear about the fluids, just that it needed a lot of them. So perhaps we might need to continue our tow for a few more weeks while I learn about more parts of this interesting conveyance that they use, which doesn't seem to really, be a good substitute for a nice pair of soft leather boots in your feet. But, Wetlanders are confusing. So
and
that's
lazy.
what I know.
So, yeah.
I still don't understand why they don't just use their own 2 feet, but this was pretty fascinating.
We have an excess of fluids here in the wetland, so we like to create devices to make use of those.
Well, that's good because you wouldn't want them just like running rampant, because who knows what excess fluids might do if they were allowed to just squirt out of anywhere.
Yeah, lubrication seems to be very important in this place.
Yes.
As Rajesh has said in chat, the first age Jokars are thirsty.
Yes.
So there we go.
True.
Yes.
So, well, so we've had some disappearing knowledge and some fluid knowledge. What did you learn, Bain&Chiad?
Okay, so mine was a manual about mine crafting. And this appealed to me because as a maiden, I don't really know exactly the process of mining and how that turns into a spear. I mean, I know blacksmiths have a lot of G, but I wanted to know more about where my spears come from from the mines and then all the way to becoming a spear. So this Minecraft manual here talks about logic. And in particular, it's a logic gate. So I feel like this must be something to do with either the White Aja or like the entrance to a town that, you know, you're going to raid, and you have to, maybe you have to use a lot of logic to figure out your attack strategy to get into this gate. So that I'm only on page 1 because this is really a very complicated gate. I don't know if maybe there's some like Wetlander devices I'm not familiar with that make this gate operate. And I'm assuming this, you know, it could also be like the gate. I don't really know what this has to do with mining. So, I mean, maybe it's like a gate to the mines. I don't know. It is pretty valuable stuff. So maybe you have to like break in. So I'm looking at that. And then there's something about input and output. And then I saw this chart or picture, I guess. And it looks like a stones board. I don't know if y'all can see that.
I put it on screen for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yes. So this appears to be some kind of stones board. So I think if you maybe, again, I'm still on the first page, but I'm hoping maybe I will learn like some stone strategy, which will teach me how to unlock this gate, which will somehow help me find the mine. And then I can figure out how to craft the ore that comes from the mine. That's just kind of what I'm guessing is going to happen, but I haven't quite delved deep enough into this information yet.
Sounds like I should be trying to track down Tom and sending him to you, I think.
Tom?
I've Tom Maryland. I've heard he's good with stones.
Oh yes, okay. Yeah,
Oh.
maybe he can help figure out this stones board. It's not like any other stones board I've seen.
I'm not familiar with this stones board either,
No,
so
no,
yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Well, I feel like we've learned a lot. This is good, and we must continue to learn. So, folks,
We are progressing on our way to meeting Arto about learning about
Yes.
Wetlander things.
Oh, and chat is asking what logic has to do with Minecraft, and I think I may have forgotten to give you some key information. This is about redstone in particular, redstone circuits. So I don't know if that helps all of you understand, but they're mining redstone.
there we go. Hopefully that helps you folks. If you know, I don't, so I'm just as lost. But I need a manual as well, folks. So feel free to send them in to us. You can tweet it to us. You can, if you're in the Discord server, you can just put it in the threefold chat there. But let us know, and I will pick a manual to study and enrich the rest of us with knowledge as we continue to meet our toe. So yeah, nice.
I personally don't think you have any toe, Rob, because we are the ones who took over your live stream and completely obliterated its ability to be transmitted to the rest of the world. So
but I did I didn't set it up completely correctly for you. So if I had looked properly and set on one little toggle and had that on, it would have started and run better. So yeah, that's on me. So
You know what?
that's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words. But let's just thank the Foldies, because I think they've stayed with us through at least 3 bubbles of evil hitting the technology.
Yes.
Oh,
We had
yes.
quite
Yes.
a few weeks. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All these have much G.
They do.
Yes.
Yes. And
Thank
today
you,
has been I feel like I might jinx it if I say this now, but today has been better. Hopefully.
Why did you say it? You naming the dark one.
No. Okay.
That's my dad.
Oh my God. Did you really just, oh, Melindhra, you are a treasure. Okay. Folks, let's go from a talk of toe to a talk of G. So something we like to do here at Threefold Talk is we like to search out for folks who are having an Aiel day. And you can tweet about your day in the waste or your day in your life and include the hashtag Aiel Day, and we might feature it on the show. Some weeks we don't have any, and thus we don't do it. Some weeks we have people put out a hashtag and use it, and we think it's worthy of a mention, and we bring it up. And occasionally we see something just in our journey through the Twitterverse and find something that we think needs to be brought up. And that is the case this week. Now, Bain&Chiad, did you find this?
No, I think Melindhra found this.
Melindhra, you found it? Yes. Okay. I know someone found it. So, Melindhra, would you like to introduce this week's Aiel Day? So.
Yes, this is an honorary Aiel Day because they did not nominate themselves. And that would be the way to nominate yourself is by using the hashtag Aiel Day. And there's much G for anyone who nominates themselves because you bring your G to our attention. But however, the Finn over at Snakes and Foxes went to a live show and got in line to be part of to be able to see the premiere at one of the myriad of live sessions across the United States and across the country, and they had an amazing experience that they got to witness. They weren't able to actually participate in actually seeing the premiere, but then I don't know, can other people
I have the tweet up on yeah, that's fine, I can read it out. So it's a few tweets. So it starts off, we just want to share a story from while waiting in line at the Wheel of Time premiere. After they said it was full, there were a few of us left waiting because they said there might be a couple of tickets left. There were two couples in front of us. After some time, the people came out with two tickets. The couple in front turned around and gave it to the couple behind them. I mentioned how nice it was of them. They mentioned that the ones who went in came all the way from Nebraska for this event. I don't know these people, otherwise I would tag them. It really showed how much this series and this show means to people. And it would have really sucked if these people came all this way and couldn't go. It was a really meaningful gesture. And then Snakes and Foxes finish was, as sad as I was not to attend, glad I got to see this moment. So yeah, much G to those people, and much G to Snakes and Foxes for bringing that to our attention, because that's beautiful. I love that.
Much G.
Indeed. So that is our Aiel Day for this week, folks. As was said, one second, let me bring it back up by Melindhra. You can tweet out what's happened to you. It could be something that happened to you in the waste. It could just be your day-to-day activities, something you've seen, and you could tweet about it. Use the hashtag Aiel Day. We check it a few times a week to see what's happening, and we like to bring up those ones that we think are most worthy of recognition. So you can come join us with that. But yeah, that's a great one. I love that one from Snakes and Foxes. So thank you, Snakes. It's much appreciated. So, right. I think it's announcement time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
This is fun. Okay, let me make sure I bring up the right one. Yes, I have. Okay, so ladies and gents, this is something I'm particularly happy about. Not that I'm usually unhappy about things that we do here at Threefold Talk or anything I do on my content, except the Bubbles of Evil. They're fun in some ways and horrible in most other ways, but I'm not usually happy about them. But otherwise, I'm happy about my content. This is something particularly special. So for those of you familiar with what I did last year, a few of us in the Discord server, the content creators hang out in for collaboration, decided to throw together a collaboration to do a charity live stream. A couple of people suggested it. I, you know, in my true style, decided, hey, yeah, that sounds amazing, and basically signed up for the entire thing and ran the entire thing and stayed up for 30 hours straight to do the massive What a Holiday charity live stream. We raised $5,500 for the Lightweaver Foundation, and it was an incredible experience, and I love doing it. And it's, as we promised last year, an annual event. So I am thrilled to say that that is happening again this year, folks. What a Holiday is going to be on December 11th. It starts at 7:30 Eastern. runs for 24 hours, and we have an incredible selection of people who have donated their time to come and join us. This is a Saturday, by the way, folks, so you will not miss the show. We didn't want to do a live stream that then clashed with the show, but now we've realized that the show is basically coming out on Thursday night in America, but we're sticking with the Saturday because we've moved it anyway. We've done it. We've booked people. So but yeah, what's the most exciting thing about this, ladies, for you? What's happening during the live stream? Who wants to reveal that? Put your hand up. Who wants to do it? I don't know. You all look very excited. Go on, Bain&Chiad. Tell us. Or Shelly. I don't know. What's happening? What's the fun bit for us?
Go Bain&Chiad.
Threefold brunch.
Threefold brunch.
Threefold brunchies. Brunch with foldies.
Yes, foldies. We are participating and doing threefold brunch. We have 8 a.m. slot, I think. I'm there for the whole thing, so I'm not 100% sure now. Let me bring up the schedule. Folks.
We're the 8 a.m. slot, EST.
Yes.
Bring your memuskwi, bring your Aielish coffee, make your best brunch dish. We want to see all your waffles. Post what you're eating for brunch. We want to have brunch with our friends.
Yes. And we'll be talking about all the whole stream is going to have kind of a show focus. The show is out. We're going to be 2 episodes away from the end or something of that nature, or 3 episodes away from the end of season 1. So we are going to try and get as much show focus as we can, but having everyone take different elements. So for example, let me bring up the schedule here. You will notice that there is a Randland or a Landland. We haven't changed it just yet, but it might be Landland. I've sent the notification. I was like, do you want to call it Landland fashion instead of Randland fashion? But we have a fashion segment planned in. I know that some people are going to take all the different aspects they can. Lesbian Nerdy is definitely going to do an entire segment on braids, things like that. And yeah, so we'll be talking all the food and drink during our brunch session, uskwais and things like that. So yeah, that is the schedule, folks. We have just so many people joining us, people that weren't there last year as well, which I'm so excited to say that have joined us new. So like Just Somebody's Opinion is new. He's a new content creator. He's such a wonderful person. Malkier's King is back. Andrew's back, but then the Dusty Wheel is joining us this year for like the pre-lunchtime slots. Loyal's Book Club, just name some of the new ones. Cool Story Podcast. But then people who joined us last year, like Twatcast, Fantology, Memo, Elliot from Elliot's Edits, Another Turning, Talk Around Yards, things like that. And Watchnary is back as well, finishing us off at the 6 to 7 p.m. slot. The planning committee will be on in the first half an hour from 7:30 to 8, and the last half an hour from 7 to 7:30. And we did that so that we could fit in an extra show that way and do 23 instead of 22 shows. So yeah, but I'm really excited about the threefold brunch. It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how many maidens and wise ones and such will make it. Hopefully everybody, but as many as we can get there. It's going to be. Bring
your calf. Contact your local Shanshan. Get yourself stocked up on calf. It'll be worth meeting us for it.
Indeed. It's going to be just a lot of fun, and hopefully we can raise a lot of money. We are pushing the target this year. So say last year our target was 5,000. We raised 5.5. The Whatcastathon, which is run by Charity of Time, which are supporting us for What a Holiday, they aimed for 5,000 again this year and raised, was it 13? I think something of that nature. It went wild right at the end. Someone donated like $1,000 right at the end. So we said, well, let's not go wild, but let's challenge ourselves a little more. So we, instead of aiming for 5,000 this year, we are aiming for $7,500 as our target for this year. So we're looking forward to this. Silvertooth in the chat. Yes, so this will be on the Malkier Talks YouTube channel. Links and things like that will go out in a couple of weeks. We're just starting the initial sort of advertising now, so folks can get chatting about it and know about it. But it is 3 weeks on Saturday. So probably the week after next, I will start dropping the links around. And I think I could share a secret here. It's not a big secret, but I got a little secret. We're supporting the Lightweaver Foundation. For anyone who doesn't know, that is a charity set up by Brandon Sanderson, and his sister runs it. They're all about providing food, water, shelter, and books to those in need. Sort of enriching bodies and minds. It's a wonderful charity, and I have small hopes because I don't want to get overexcited, but when we contacted them to say, hey, we're doing this again, just to let you know, we want to do this and have a wonderful time. Jane, who runs the charity, said, well, we've got more time more notice this time. So I think there's a small chance, folks, that Brandon might join us for a little bit. Not specifically threefold brunch, like, probably the start or the finish or something, but, we're going to try and talk him into coming and join us, folks. So, you might even get that. If that happens, I will make an official announcement. That is purely a maybe at this stage, but yeah, we've got a lot of fun people on. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's always an adventure doing these 24-hour streams, and it will all be here on the Malkier Talks channel. So yeah, do come and join us. And in just any show, all of the shows, they'll all be on the channel afterwards, so you can go back and watch any show that you miss. But clear your schedule for that weekend, get some sleep in advance, and come party with us for as much as you're able to for the 24 hours, because even if you can't donate and you can just watch and enjoy and share it out other places so other people can enjoy it as well, that's still helpful. And, I'm sure everyone will just love the fun chats and craziness that I'm sure will happen. There was shaving of beards and stripping and all sorts last year. It got wild, didn't it? I don't know how much you watched last year, but I will not be dancing in a onesie this year, folks. I did that last year.
I wouldn't say that yet.
Don't know, it depends how much use quiet have at breakfast, at brunch.
That's right. You never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially if you try to keep up with the Aiel drinking your usquai.
Yeah.
This is true. I'll be quite tired by that stage as well, I imagine, because 8 a.m., 12 hours in, it starts at midnight here. So, it's going to be lunchtime. I'll have been up. Hopefully I can sleep in advance. I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah. I'm
sorry. I'm just loving the calf chat.
Yes. It's much
calf
chat right now.
It's very dark.
Very dark.
Are you like spicy calf?
Is it?
Village mattress. I am not wearing a bikini this year. My God. And no, I'm not making a subscriber pledge like the innkeeper either. No, I'm not doing that before anyone even suggests that. So yeah. Ladies, do you have anything else to add before I tie us up for the evening?
I think this is our last live stream before everyone has the opportunity to see the show, right?
Yes.
So from my perspective, I just hope that everyone has a lovely time getting to experience the show for the first time. I haven't seen it. I know Rob has, but for my part, I'm really excited to be able to share this with people who haven't read the books and people who have. And
what are your viewing plans for this weekend? That's the question. I'm going to ask all three of you individually.
Yeah,
Melindhra,
we talked about this a little bit last week. But what I'm doing is I'm going to watch it with my real life Matt Cawthon, hopefully, because they still haven't announced when this show is released in the United States. I'm going to watch it with him first, and then in the morning, I'm going to have a spoiler-free watch party with people who've never seen the show. So trying to recruit some new fans. And then in the evening, I'm going to have a full spoilers watch party with some people who have read all the books. So I'm having multiple watch parties on the 18th, and I'm really excited. And I'm planning to try my hand at some Malkier Talks recipes to be able to entertain people, also more than just visually and auditorially, also sensationally, with some of the recipes that you provide to us, Rob. And so, yeah, I have a whole thing planned for the people who are coming to see my multiple watch parties on the 19th.
I'd love it. Bain&Chiad, what are you doing for the release?
For that is a tough act to follow. I don't have any fancy plans like that, but I am taking some time off of work. So I'm taking Friday off because that's when I thought it originally was going to be released. But it seems like I might be staying up all night Thursday night between watching all the episodes, jumping on the dusty wheel. So I'm glad I took that day off. And then I'm actually off the whole following week to emotionally recover. So I haven't really planned out what I want to do yet. My job involves a lot of planning. So when I take time off, I try to be more spontaneous and just like wake up and decide what I want to do. But I know I'll probably rewatch the episodes at least a couple more times on Friday. And then I have Gall coming over on Friday nights to watch with me. And then I will probably sleep at some point. And yeah, we'll see where the week takes me.
Nice. And why is One Shelly? How are you spending Friday?
I am spending Friday with two of my oldest and dearest friends. We're going to do we do a Shabbat dinner on Fridays. So we're going to do Shabbat dinner. They're going to put the kids to bed, and then we're going to stay up very late. And my friend also happens to be an usquai collector. So we're going to try usquai, and we're going to watch the shows after that. So we're going to pray to get through the show, and then have a wonderful night watching it with some friends who I've read The Wheel of Time and talked about it with them nonstop. And they are also both from my religious degree studies background. So I'm a wise one with a PhD in religion. And so we're going to have some very good talks about the philosophy of the show, I believe. So that's going to be exciting.
Love it. I love it. That's wonderful. I don't know if I said mine earlier, didn't I? The night's been a blur. Did I say what I was doing? Okay.
No.
So I recorded my reaction podcast prior to the show with Kayla. So I feel like I said it, but I didn't. So my brother is, through a whole collection of scenarios and situations, coming to join us this weekend with his girlfriend. And so I plan on watching the first 3 episodes when they drop. I'm working off the midnight or 1 a.m. suggested, like if you go off what Australian Prime said, it will be 1 a.m. in the UK and then 8 p.m. Eastern America. But the Australian Prime then said, oh, that's just for Australia, but it's got to be a synchronized drop route worldwide. So I'm assuming it's going to be the awkward hours for me. It would then be convenient hours for America. So yeah, that sounds like the way the American company would do it. But I'm going to watch them and then sleep after that. Then I'm going to get up and I will be making a trio of dishes. So there'll be Valens hot fish stew. Obviously, I'm making honey cakes, and then I'm making Tam's apple brandy or apple usquai. And then in the evening, I'm going to make my brother and his girlfriend sit with myself and Kayla, and we are going to watch all 3 episodes again. And I'm a dude, you're going to enjoy it because you're going to be part of the in crowd before it's in. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off of work for this very reason, and I'm not even in work until evening on the Monday, so I can watch it multiple times over the weekend. That's kind of my plans. So yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Love it.
But yeah, so the next time we meet, ladies, we will all have seen the Wheel of Time.
Be a new age.
It will be
a new age.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to believe.
Oh, it's yeah.
Can I just say though, I'm so happy to have a community to share this with. There was a beautiful event with some of my Wheel of Time friends who I've met online where we all watched the trailer together. And I still sometimes think about that because we all muted ourselves, went and watched the trailer, came back and saw like 20 faces of just like people crying. It was so nice to have other people also crying because I was like, oh, I'm such a dork. I'm crying over a TV trailer. And then I saw other people crying and I was like, oh, thank God. Okay. Not just me. So I'm so happy to have a community to share something like this with. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think I'm looking forward to hearing what other people say. And there's going to be things we like and things we don't like. And I'm so glad that the community is positive and we're going to be able to get through those things together because we have things we like and don't like about the books, right? So
this is true. I agree. I couldn't agree with that more. I know that my second trailer experience was more it was better experience for me than the first one because I wasn't on camera or hidden or anything, and I was enjoying it just for myself, and the experience was far greater. So I can only imagine what it was like to then share that with like 20 people at the same time. Yeah, it's going to be a wild time, folks. Yeah. Some of us have waited 30 years for this. Some have waited 20, some have waited 5, some have waited a year. It doesn't matter how long you've waited, folks. It's coming, and it's going to be amazing. And I can vouch for those first 2 episodes. I'm a different person having watched them.
So are you already in a new age? Like, we're just like slightly lagging behind you. You're in the 4th age, and we're all just like
kinda
ending our battle.
He got to go into the portal stone and see a different world and a different age, and then he came back.
Yeah,
He's with us again.
I think the thing I'm most excited about is sharing something that shaped so much of my life and who I am and who I'm with and who I love, and the philosophies that have shaped like how I live my life with a wider audience, you know, a group of people that for whatever reason, and some of them valid for sure, like haven't been able to read the books, but then being able to digest this story in a more wider, broader medium makes it more accessible. And the more people who are able to access this amazing work, I think is just phenomenal, and they'll understand, and maybe we'll be able to like change the world for the better. I know that's very out of character for me, but I believe very strongly in this piece of work as an agent of change, and I think it will be able to achieve that.
That was beautiful. I can't think of a better way to end the show. So
Me neither.
until the new age, everybody, just until the new age, have fun this weekend, enjoy yourselves, share it out. Don't spoil anyone who doesn't have an opportunity to see it when you see it. And once they've seen it, just go and share and squeal with them. And we will see you all in the new age. May you always find water and shade. Bye.